welcome to this week's edition of the Bluefield University Rams Coaches Show. I'm your host, Joey Jarvis. Going to be joined tonight, of course, by my man to my left, your right, Dewey Lusk, head coach of the football team. Also, going to be talking the round ball here in a little bit. It's hard to believe we're already coming upon basketball season, but we'll have head women's basketball coach Corey Mullins and hopefully be speaking with men's basketball coach Richard Morgan. I want to give you a couple of notes about some of the programs and some of the events happening at Bluefield University in sports this week. Women's volleyball won its sixth straight matches past Saturday morning, and it's 8 out of its last 9. That is incredible against Tennessee Wesleyan. They're on the road tomorrow night, going to be taking on Union. Men's soccer took on Columbia College this afternoon in a match they won. Hey, congratulations to men's soccer. They won 7-3. That is incredible. The men and women's soccer teams are going to be in action Friday at the East River Soccer Complex against Columbia International University. Women will take the pitch at 2, men at 4. And men's golf currently in Milligan for a 2-day tournament that began today. Final round will be tomorrow. And coming up Saturday evening at Mitchell Stadium, it's going to be the University Rams taking on Faulkner, nationally ranked Faulkner, who's in the top 25 in the NAIA standings. And it'll be Breast Cancer Awareness Day. We encourage you to wear pink when you come out to the game this Saturday night. Hey, at first I want to say thank you to our sponsor and host of the Bluefield University Coaches Show, The Grind, here in downtown Bluefield, Virginia, 103 Spring Street. You can learn more about their great PSLs, if you know what that means. That's pumpkin spice lattes. You ever tried one of those?
No, I just get the peach tea every time because it's the best peach tea.
The award-winning peach tea.
Absolutely. That's all I get.
It's got the Dewey Lusk seal of approval. Peach tea, breakfast sandwiches, and more. Come try it out here at The Grind in Bluefield, Virginia. And, Coach, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
And, ouch.
Well, Joey,
If that's one word I could use.
Sometimes you get the bear, and sometimes the bear gets you. And, you know, Georgetown's one of those programs that's tradition, history. They got the whole 9. Bill Cronin.
Been here 20 plus
He's won
years.
over 200 football games. And just a, tremendous program. But, sometimes you face foes that are a little bit better than you, stronger than you, and that was one of those cases last Saturday. Their top 10 team went to the NAIA playoffs last year. They've been several times. Just a very good football team. And, to hang in there, we would have to have played perfect, and we didn't. And but give them props. They got a great defense, tremendous quarterback, good offensive line. I mean, they're just solid all the way around.
Yeah, the kicker, I was joking with my individual that's in the press box with me during games. I said, that young man, number 85, the kicker for them, I said, his legs got to be getting tired. But he was good. They were a well-coached team. And I tell you, that's the kind of competition you're going to see, like we mentioned before we started the show, is Mid-South Conference. You're going to see a lot of teams like Georgetown, and we've got a tough foe coming up this Saturday night.
Well, you got Faulkner, and then you have Reinhardt following that.
That's even tougher.
And then, obviously Faulkner and Reinhardt are part of the Appalachian division, and then we'll get down the stretch to some non-ranked teams,
right.
and we just got to hang in there. We've just got to keep working. We've got to correct mistakes, but we're going to stay right at it and keep working.
Well, let's highlight some of the positives because like the opening drive. I mean, you move the ball against a very tough team, and we saw a little bit different layer there, moving Strickland back to the slot. In kind of a wing back. Where did that come from?
We've been trying to move him and Ebron all around the field. But we actually moved him to running back,
right.
Strickland. And but what happens is we fall so far. When you fall back 3 or 4 touchdowns, you have to try to score as quickly as you can,
right.
And kind of takes away the running game. And we had started running the football, like you said, with Strickland on Saturday. And running it against a team that had only given up 68 total yards of rushing all year. Uh-huh.
I didn't know that. I hadn't seen that.
Yeah.
Stat. So there you go. There is some positivity to that.
But we had to scrap the running game because all of a sudden you find yourself behind 35-7,
right.
and you're trying to make things happen. But we were able to score 3 times, and Ebron and Strickland, had good games again, and so we're just going to keep battling and trying to get better, and that's all you can do.
That's all we can do. And the thing is, even in the defeat, as lopsided as the victory was, there still was a lot of heart in your team.
They're not going to quit.
They never quit. That's the one thing you got to credit your young men. There is no quit in those individuals.
They're going to play hard all day, and they enjoy playing. And but we're just making some bonehead mistakes at crucial times that we've got to shore up, and we just have to get mentally better at that part of it. And the only way to do that's to keep playing and keep practicing and correct it.
Well, we're going to do that this Saturday. It's an incredible matchup. I mean, to have that kind of caliber come into Mitchell Stadium back-to-back weeks, like you mentioned, a top 10 team in Georgetown who will probably be there come the end of the season.
Oh, they will be.
They're going to be they're going to be in the playoff hunt and definitely in the championship hunt. But what can we expect out of Faulkner, our opponent this Saturday, which of course kickoff going to be at 6 at Mitchell Stadium? You were kind of telling me that they are faster than Georgetown.
Oh yeah, they've got great team speed. Last year, I can't remember the exact score off the top of my head, but we fell behind like usual this past week, 35-7 or something at halftime. Well, we came roaring back in the second half. We probably threw for 280, 300 in the second half, and ended up losing maybe 49-35, something like that. But their secondary can run. Their wide receivers are just extremely fast, and so we have to do a good job of giving some cushion and not letting them get behind us. And that's been a problem spot for us all year. So we have to definitely address that and improve upon that. And but hopefully, we can get some of those receivers loose. I think they're going to play us more zone than we have seen and backed off. So we're going to have to be patient and hit the underneath stuff and move the ball down the field.
Well, when you talk about that, let's talk about the signal caller. Who are we going to see behind center? Are you going to try to run?
We'll probably give Josh an opportunity to start out this week. Nate has a little bit quicker release than Josh does, and that was one reason why we went with Nate last week over Josh, because we knew we had less than 2 seconds to get rid of the ball because Georgetown is coming.
They were coming.
And Josh came in at the end of the game last week and did a very nice job, but once again they had substituted and their third defense was in there, and that's not to take anything away from Josh, but that's what was happening. Both of them have shown signs this year of being a really good quarterback for us, and Nate's been extremely good in practice and shown signs during the games, and I'll talk to Josh about that this week. You've got to be able to do it every day,
right?
And what a great human being Josh Nelson is, and so I told him today, we'll give him an opportunity this Saturday.
Well, individually, you said that's one thing you got to highlight on your team. You have a lot of athletes on any side of the ball. You mentioned Ebron, you mentioned Strickland. We talked about Nelson and Hurstich. And how do you bring them together as a team? How can you use Saturday as a teachable moment to get your team to rebound and get back up and get back to fighting?
Well, you continue to do the things that you do well, but then you also point out what you need to do better. And those things that we need to do better to win football games, we have to do consistently. And that's the hard part. And anytime you're trying to build something, like getting that Emory and Henry win, that was a great step in the right direction. And then you're trying to get over that hump, and the next step is to learn how to win consistently. And that's doing things right and consistent every day, going to class, doing the right thing in a community, doing the right things at practice and paying attention. And it takes all those things, but it takes a buy-in by everybody.
Right.
And that's what you're trying to get to. You still have a bunch of – even though you have some older kids, you have some young kids mixed in, you've got a whole group of kids, and you've got to bring those kids all together. And, if I had the magic formula, I would write a book and make $1 million. And but that's the hard part. And Corey Mullins probably tell you the same thing. And you spend all your time. X's and O's are important. There's no doubt about it. I've been calling plays for 36 years. I can muster up a couple things every now and then. But this part of it mentally, that's the hard part of bringing teams together. And the teams that have won, you notice they continue to win. Well, do they have more money? Maybe. But probably what they do have is they're able to retain juniors and seniors that do a good job of teaching the freshmen and sophomores to come along. And when that starts happening, that's when you probably have a really good program.
Well, I think that's what we're going to be looking forward to. This season's not over. It's not a wash yet.
No, we haven't played the first conference game yet.
Exactly.
But we do this Saturday.
So we're going to do that. That's this Saturday. Bluefield University going to be hosting Faulkner, nationally ranked Faulkner. It's going to be Breast Cancer Awareness Day. We encourage you to wear pink. Come out and show your support for the Rams and for breast cancer awareness. Before we go, what's your week looking like? What you going to be getting into? Staying real busy with practice?
Well, this week, today, we had a meeting, and then I had to do an NA. I'm a rater, so I had to do a rating this morning, and then we had to set up, make sure we had our meals for fall break, and there in between, I did a little bit of film, and next thing you know, it's time to be here. Wow. And so, we stay busy. We're working hard, and we're going to do everything we can to beat Faulkner on Saturday.
Well, I think you got to get – the thing is you're going to enjoy football regardless. It's football. It's college football here in your hometown in Mitchell Stadium. Get more details about the Rams. Meet Dewey, his whole staff. Got an accomplished staff, one of the best put-together staffs I've seen at a smaller college in a long time. Phil Dunford, got to give him a shout-out, that young man.
He's done a great job for us, and then Mike Ketchum running the offense. If I've been coaching 36 years, he's been at it 42, and just does a tremendous job, and the kids love him. Dino Cackless, who's also,
what a cool dude.
Coach Ketchum and Dino have been head college coaches. Coach Ketchum's even been athletic director. And to have that quality and experience around our kids, I mean, that's second to none, because not only are they going to teach them football, but they're going to be able to help them with life lessons and help them to get jobs down the road. And at the end of the day, we all want to win, and we want to win and be successful. But at the end of the day, it's about helping the kids to become better people, better husbands, better community folks. That's what it's all about.
Well, there's a lot of character in this program, and we encourage you to come out and support these young men and the whole crew for the Bluefield University Rams football team. Once again, Saturday night, 6 o'clock at Mitchell Stadium. Dewey Lusk and the whole crew are going to be taking on Faulkner. It is going to be an incredible game. I think we're going to see a lot of points up on that board again this Saturday.
Well, I hope so, and I hope it's a lot of points on the Rams side and not on the Faulkner side.
So come check it out. Like we mentioned, get more details, learn about the team, get a schedule, and get more info online at bcrams.com. Coach Lusk.
Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Head coach Dewey Lusk for the Bluefield University Rams football team. We'll see him Saturday night at Mitchell Stadium. Kick off at 6 as they take on nationally ranked Faulkner. Back-to-back nationally ranked opponents. You're not going to get that anywhere else other than Bluefield University. When we come back, we're going to be speaking with the head women's basketball coach, Corey Mullins. Can't believe it's basketball time. It's time for the round ball. We'll get more info coming up shortly. Thanks for tuning in to the Bluefield University Coaches Show. Back in a moment.
You say you have vision, but where's it taking you? Because true vision is seeing what could be, contending with the status quo. It's taking what shapes you and using it to shape the world. It's the higher calling, from the one who calls you his own. The higher vision, where visionaries are made. It's taking the higher road to a higher education. It's about discovering what God's placed inside of you is exactly what you need. It's knowing that to lead is to serve, and a life poured out is a life full and meaningful. So go. Go beyond the normal. Go stronger than before. Go make your mark. Make your impact. Go further.
Welcome back to the Bluefield University Coaches Show. I'm your host, Joey Jarvis. Big thank you to Dewey Lusk, head coach of the football team. They're taking on Faulkner this Saturday night, 6 o'clock at Mitchell Stadium. Football for Breast Cancer Awareness Night. We encourage you to wear pink to Mitchell Stadium as they take on another nationally ranked team. Can't believe I'm about to say this, but it's almost basketball time.
Amen.
We want to welcome into the show head coach of the women's basketball team, Coach Corey Mullins. How
Thanks,
you doing,
Joey.
Corey?
Appreciate it. You're doing well. Thanks for having me. I feel like I'm on an episode of Friends here. I love what you've done with the place. And,
Yeah.
Coffee
The
shop
Central
here.
Perk right
Central
now.
Perk
No,
right here.
as you bring that up, let's thank our sponsor and host for the evening, The Grind, Colin O'Donnell, his whole crew here.
Absolutely.
Take
Great
care of
job.
us. They're 103 Spring Street, Bluefield, Virginia. Learn more about them at thegrindbluefield.com. Coach Lusk highly recommends the peach tea.
Yeah, I haven't tried that yet.
What's your favorite
You
go-to
know,
drink here?
I don't know. They had this s'mores drink a few weeks back that my boys got me into, and so it was just sugar on top of sugar on top of sugar. So,
That's the way you got to do it.
but I'm going to try that peach tea. If Dewey likes it, I'm going to try it.
Dewey
So.
signs off of it. I trust Dewey, and I'll trust your opinion as well. Now, let's talk about your career here. You're going on, you said, eighth season here?
My 8th season here. Yeah, it's hard to believe, but yeah, it's been time flies. Kids have grown up here. Came here in 2014, and just been really blessed to be here.
Well, let me ask you a tough question, which, some of the most successful coaches in women's basketball history have been men. What got you into women's basketball?
Yeah, that's a great question, Joey. I mean, I knew in college that I wanted to coach, and I had helped out in my community around my high school, obviously coaching boys, right?
Right.
And I just I put out a resume on a coaches board when I graduated college, and this guy from Bryan College, the head coach there, he called me up and said, "Hey, man, have you ever thought about coaching women?" I said, "Absolutely not." And he said, "Let's come down here. Let's talk about it." And the more I researched and took a look at his resume and the places he had been, success he had had, and then obviously my time at Bryan, I was really impressed by the people and by the young ladies that I got to know there. So, I started coaching women 18 years ago, and
Wow.
I did spend 3 years in my career coaching on the men's side. My first head coaching positions were on the men's side, but 15 of those 18 have been on the women's side, and really enjoyed it.
Well, albeit differently, it is women and men. But the one thing I've always noticed being an observer of basketball, especially college basketball, women's basketball has some of the most fundamentally sound athletes as far as team basketball and fundamentals,
Yeah.
passing, rebounding, defense. It's a very even playing field when it comes to women's basketball.
Yeah, I think so. And obviously the game of women's basketball has really developed over the
It
last 10
has.
years. And even since I've been in coaching, just the athleticism and the abilities that these young ladies have is just head and shoulders above where we
It's
were
incredible.
20 years. And but I love that. I love the fundamental part of it. Obviously, we as coaches love to teach, and for me, when I played in high school, I was not the most athletic guy on the floor, and so I had to find the way to neutralize my lack of athletic ability, and so I had some coaches who poured into me, taught me some details that were really important, and that's kind of the same thing we try to do here at Bluefield, is try to create an environment where everybody at all level can come in and be successful based off of those fundamentals and based off the discipline of playing team ball.
Well,
So.
discipline's going to be one of those things you're going to have to deal with. We were talking earlier. You've got 10 incoming freshmen.
Yeah.
That is unheard of.
It
at
really
a college
is.
basketball program.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah, that was again 10 is a lot. It's
That's
probably
a-
twice as many as I thought I was going to get. And as I looked at this roster, we had 6 seniors who graduated last year off last year's roster, and I knew I was going to have to replace them and then also add to our depth because we didn't
Right.
have much depth last year. And so I was thinking in my mind maybe 6 freshmen, 4 transfers, 7 freshmen, 3 transfers, and Lord said, "Hey, I'm going to give you 10 freshmen." And but we've got some really good young talent, and yeah, I'm excited about it. They've played a little bit of pickup, and we've been spending the last 3 weeks working on individual workouts and just trying to teach some of these fundamentals that you talked about, so that when we get going on Thursday 5-on-5, it can look decent and we can grow from there. So, but they're all great young ladies in the classroom. Top tier academic young ladies, and they're passionate. They're driven. They're motivated to be here, and they're loving Bluefield College, and I'm excited to go to work with them.
So what's the key to get, you've got all those individuals coming in, and that's it. They're individuals now.
Yeah.
What's the key to getting them to mesh and become a team? What's step one?
Sure. Well, we spent a lot of time. This off season just kind of getting to know each other a little bit, right?
Good.
And took the team camping for a couple of nights.
Really?
Up in Beckley at one of my players' houses, and I had told them coming in, "Hey, we're going to have a retreat." And they're like, "Oh, that's going to be awesome. That's going to be great."
Little did they know.
Yeah. Then when we got here, and I
outdoors.
said, "Yeah, we're going to be sleeping in tents." And I thought I was going to lose about 7 of those freshmen right there. But we had a great
That's
time.
a good team building.
It was, and it was something. I told them, I was like, "Shoot, I hadn't been camping myself in 25 years, and took my 2 youngest sons up there with us, and so it was fun for me just to spend some time with my family as well." But it was good. We went on a hike and did some things, and there's been I've heard there's been some pretty intense rook games in the apartment complex.
Which is tough.
And so the girls are learning to compete with each other, and they're spending some time off the court, and that's huge. That's the biggest thing, is for everybody to feel comfortable with who we are and just getting to know each other a little bit. So.
Well, that's what you got to do, especially in basketball, where it's such a
Absolutely.
individuals can shine.
Yeah.
But like we've mentioned with women's basketball, especially, it's a better team sport. No offense to men's basketball, I love it, but women's basketball, from top to bottom, it's one of those where number 20 could beat number 1 on any given night.
Yeah.
So, we're talking with head coach of the women's basketball team, Corey Mullins, who your season's going to be starting 30 days from this Friday.
Yeah, it is. We open up on the 30th. We're on the road at Alice Lloyd, and Alice Lloyd's a really good team, really good program. They've really developed over the last few years, and play in that River States Conference, which is really good. So we've got some tests. We open up. We got about 15 or 16 practice dates before we have our Mountaintop Madness on October 21st over homecoming weekend. So we're excited to be able to showcase to our community and to our alumni, the team of the future here, and then we get started. It all counts on October 30th, and we're looking forward to
It's
that.
hard to believe that time of the year is already here, man.
Oh,
It
it's
is
squeak
flown
season
by.
already, man.
As he mentioned, Mountaintop Madness is going to be kind of an introduction to all winter sports, including men and women's basketball. Head coach Richard Morgan, what do you know about anything about it? Let's get you to go to the other side of the court, the other locker room. What's up with the men's basketball program?
Man, all I know is that he brings in athletes, every year, and Richard does a great job, and those guys, they play really hard. And you talk about discipline; he expects a lot out of his players, and so
Isn't that kind of the mantra for the whole university, though?
Sure it is. I mean, it's a part of who we are, and part of our mission, and I've had a chance to watch a few of his conditioning sessions, his individual sessions with them. I think they're going to be really good, and he's got some good pieces coming back, some really good guard play coming back, and definitely he's got some really good newcomers coming in. So I'm excited.
Well, I think both sides of the locker room, like you said, men and women's basketball, it's going to be exciting to see. And Mountaintop Madness, as you mentioned, coming up on October 21st. What can we expect there? We're going to have like some shooting drills, 3-on-3, anything fun and interactive?
Yeah, we're gonna showcase our players' abilities to shoot. Maybe even pick a random student out of the audience and see how they stack up against some of our athletes too, and have a dunk contest maybe, and we'll see what we got going on there. But we're gonna be able to scrimmage a little bit, and but I think Bob's.
Yeah, we'll get Bob Red out there. Air Red, as we know him.
Absolutely. But it's going to be a fun night. It's been a few years since we've done one of these.
Right.
Last couple of years have kind of been crazy with COVID, but I remember last time we had Mountaintop Madness. It was an exciting event for everybody, and it's just a great opportunity for our teams to
Corey,
be showcased.
let's make this your stand. You're in front of the crowd. This is your pitch to get folks out to women's basketball this year at Bluefield University. What can we expect out of the Lady Rams this year?
Well, number one, you're going to see a team that is incredibly athletic and is going to work hard every second of every game. And so when you come, and this is what I love about Bluefield, and when we've been at our best, it's been an interactive experience, like you talked about. Like, our fans feed our program. Our fans and the environment that we have at the Dome is second to none in our league. And so we need everybody. We need the students out. We need the faculty and staff out. We need the community members out because there's no place like Dome. That's what we talk about all the time. And we want to have that environment. And our girls are pumped and excited. And I think what you're gonna see is a team that's a little bit faster paced than what we've had in the past. And the games are going to be a little bit more energetic, and we're going to be deeper. And so we're getting back to that 2017, 2018 teams when we had some really good depth and we could play 11 at a time. And, 11 in the game, not 11 at a time. But
go ahead and do it, though.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. But we can get up and down, and we won't miss a beat when we go to the bench. And that's what I'm excited about. And hopefully we can build that momentum.
That's one thing we got to look forward to. It's going to be here before you know it, folks. Keep up to date with everything, men and women's basketball, online at bcrams.com. As he mentioned, it's going to be Mountaintop Madness. What a name. Coming up October 21st at the Dome. One of the best facilities in all of basketball around this area. And
it is.
I mean, don't you use that to the advantage? Because the acoustics in the Dome are one of those. You can have a crowd of 100 people, and it sounds like there's 10,000.
Yeah, it really does. And it's, through the first 5 or 6 years of my career here, like we had an outstanding record at home. I mean, there's just no place like it. And especially January and February when you come up here from North Georgia and you get off the bus and there's a foot of snow on the ground and all of a sudden you're thrust into this environment where there's, like you said, there's 200, 300 people. It feels like 3,000, and it's just a great environment to play. And obviously it's one of the unique venues in our league and our conference and at our level. And so we just need everybody to come out and fill it up and make it feel like that home court advantage we need.
I'm looking forward to it. I know the community and all the Rams supporters are looking forward to it as well. Basketball going to be here before you know it. Like you mentioned, it's coming up October 21st, Mountaintop Madness, first game of the season, October 30th. Get a full schedule. Get to know the new freshmen, 10 of them. You don't have to go camping with them. You can get more information online at bcrams.com. Head women's basketball coach Corey Mullins, I appreciate your time.
Yeah,
for
thanks,
tonight.
Joey.
I look forward to spending a lot of time with you
absolutely,
this year. I'm going
absolutely.
to be coming to a lot of games.
Yeah.
So we'll see that. Women's basketball, men's basketball going to be starting soon. Get more details online, bcrams.com. We'll be back to wrap it up here in just a moment. This is the Bluefield University Coaches Show at The Grind in Bluefield, Virginia.
You say you have vision. But where's it taking you? Because true vision is seeing what could be, contending with the status quo. It's taking what shapes you and using it to shape the world. It's the higher calling from the one who calls you his own. The higher vision, where visionaries are made. It's taking the higher road to a higher education. It's about discovering what God's placed inside of you is exactly what you need. It's knowing that to lead is to serve. And a life poured out is a life full and meaningful. So go. Go beyond the normal. Go stronger than before. Go make your mark. Make your impact. Go further.
Welcome back to the Bluefield University Coaches Show. Big thank you to tonight's guest, head football coach Dewey Lusk, and we just had a chance to talk with a very energetic man, the head women's basketball coach, Corey Mullins. 10 freshmen coming to that crew this year. That's going to be an exciting basketball team to watch and grow over the next few seasons at the Dome. I want to thank you to our host and sponsor, The Grind, here in downtown Bluefield, Virginia, 103 Spring Street in Bluefield, Virginia. Learn more online at thegrindbluefield.com. It's pumpkin spice latte. They've got pumpkin spice pretty much anything, drinks, sandwiches and other stuff. You know what? You can probably put pumpkin spice on your pumpkin spice. They'll find a way to do it here at The Grind. Don't forget women's volleyball. Man, we've got to keep an eye on these young ladies. They are really tearing it up right now. They won their 6 straight matches past weekend, 8 out of its last 9. They're going to be on the road tomorrow night taking on Union. Men's soccer won today. Congratulations to them. Now, men and women's soccer going to be in action Friday at East River Soccer Complex against Columbia International University. Women will be at 2, men on the pitch at 4. Men's golf currently playing in Milligan for a 2-day tournament. It'll wrap up tomorrow. And as we mentioned with head coach Dewey Lusk, it is a big game this Saturday night. Mitchell Stadium going to be taking on Faulkner, nationally ranked Faulkner, back-to-back nationally ranked opponents for the Rams at home. You're not going to see that level of football anywhere else in this area, so you got to come check it out. As it's Breast Cancer Awareness Day this Saturday night at Mitchell Stadium, we encourage you to wear pink and support our community and support the Rams. Kickoff at 6 at Mitchell Stadium. Don't forget, get more details about every sport offered and all the programs going on at Bluefield University online, bcrams.com. Big thank you to our producer, Jackson, and, of course, thank you to our sports information director, Bob Red, and the whole staff of Bluefield University for bringing this program to you every single week here at The Grind. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week, hopefully after a victory for the Rams on the football field. Until then, we'll see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Bluefield University Coaches Show. Good night.